Hello and welcome back to the channel. I was going to just do a monthly video about seeing things have progressed so quickly in the garden. I thought I'll do an update. And introducing Speedy the tortoise. He's still here looking after things. He's like a bit of a prisoner at the moment underneath the wire there. He's got a bit of moss growing on him, I've noticed. So definitely not a rolling stone, because the moss is growing on him. That's how slowly he moves, hence the name Speedy. But yet he's still here looking after stuff. He's actually due a new coat of paint at some point, but now that he's got the natural colours growing on him, I might just leave him like that. So, a bit of an update. Stuff has started to grow in the garden now. We've got beans. There's about, I count about 17 bean plants so far. Use those old jugs and bean plants inside those. They seem to be doing alright. Let me just see if I can get over the top here with the camera. So yeah, that one seems to be taking off in there. Seems to enjoy the environment. Protection against slugs, hopefully. Touch wood, I haven't had too many of those yet. Likewise, the other one there seems to be doing okay. Big issue I've been having is cats digging up the soil. So far they haven't damaged any of the plants as far as I can tell, but hence the mesh on top to try and keep the cats out. I had put the mesh over the pea plants, but I've now put sticks to support them. Otherwise they're going to start growing up into the mesh. I don't know whether that would be a good thing or not. And looks like we have got one potato plant that's sprung up there. Must have been a spud still under the ground from last year. Got about a dozen pea plants coming up here now. So that's all good. They seem to be doing alright. Not all of them came up. I replanted some more seeds. Those also, not all of them came up. So, but so far they're doing okay, the ones that have come up. I've never really planted peas before. Did try planting some years and years ago, and they didn't do too well. But in this garden, that's the first time I've planted them. Looks like we've had a little bit of rain overnight. Compost is doing quite well. I've forgotten to bring down the daily bottle of pea to put on there to rot it down. But if you keep it covered, it keeps the heat in there. And I have seen some cow dung along the road. I'm tempted to collect that. I don't know whether it'd be a good idea or whether it'll just bring a lot of flies and stuff. Someone did donate me some leek seedlings which I've planted out. Hopefully they're gonna survive. They've been in there for almost a week now. The rest of this bed I don't have any decent soil or anything for it, so I'm just using half of the new bed for now. And yeah, what can I say about this lot? Potatoes, they just have gone crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That one, a couple of weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, I planted just a potato in the ground. And they seem to be liking it here because they get a bit of shade in the morning. Well, it is overcast today, so you can't really tell, but usually this bed's in the shade because of all these trees and stuff here. And also late in the afternoon, so they don't get too much sun, and I don't overwater them. It doesn't look like I need to do any watering today because it seems to, like I say, seems to have rained overnight. So that's pretty much an update on the garden. I'm going to have to do a bit of trimming. Neighbours' stuff is growing wild. Even the apple tree. Some beautiful roses though. They do smell very nice. So yeah, a bit of maintenance, going to be doing that today, and going to be pulling out some of these weeds before they get out of hand. So that's pretty much the garden, with all the background noise of people hooting, etc. But can't do anything about that. So just a short episode, just an update. And just in case you're wondering why I sound a bit muffled, because I've got this face covering on. It does seem to help with the pollen, so that's to prevent pollinization, because otherwise I'm going to start sneezing a lot. So that's why the second part of the video sounds a bit muffled. Well, the next part after this anyway. We'll have to see once I do the editing how I'm going to do it. But just adding these bits onto the end. So that's how I do my gardening now. Oh, and also the trimmage is complete. So no more overhanging bushes and crap from the neighbour, because this guy does not maintain his garden very well. I think he relies on other people to do it for him. That's as far as I'm trimming, that's my part of it. Well, just an extra bit to the video here. I did find while I was weeding a couple of, well, another 3 pea plants that have come up. So I moved a couple of them, so we've now got more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 in total, so we're not doing too bad actually. And whilst I was watering the leeks, I noticed I had planted tomato seedlings here previously. Didn't think they were going to come up. There they are. I think that's some there, another one, more there, another one there. So we're going to have tomatoes and leeks growing together. I don't know how that's going to work, but we shall see. Depending what survives, I'm just going to leave them like that. It's the same, I've got a random potato plant in that bed, so we'll see what happens. This one is purely potatoes. So yeah, just after weeding this lot, it's now looking a lot neater. I just thought I'd do a quick update on the video, add this bit onto the end. Did decide to give them some water, because it doesn't look like we had that much rain. It was enough to wet the ground, but whilst I was weeding I decided no, the soil underneath was still feeling a bit dry. So we've got the old irrigation system going, which has now refilled. So I need to pull that. So that's full for tomorrow. Best to water your plants in the morning, because then that sees them through the heat of the day, and water evenly, even between the plants, to keep the bed moist around the plants. That helps them to survive the heat of the day. And if you water them in the evening and it gets cold at night, that's not so good for the plants. So morning time is the best time to water them. So once a day in the morning I try and water them for that reason. They seem to like that better, they seem to survive better like that. So anyway, from Speedy and myself, it's a fond farewell until the next one. Hope that you all stay safe and well, and bye bye for now.